Hello students, welcome back to our class number 4 on cost and management accounting and financial management. So today we are going to see the transfer pricing topic of chapter 1. This is a very important topic. So I request you to follow through the video. So in this video I will cover some 3 problems, and in our upcoming videos we will cover the complete transfer pricing topic. Okay, so this is for the syllabus 2016 book, and let's go ahead with the problem. So transfer pricing is a big subject. It is regulated by Income Tax Act. However, we are not going to see the regulation part of the transfer pricing. We are going to see how to fix a transfer price. So companies usually will have many divisions, okay, and or when a particular company is expertise is in particular product, while they are growing, they generate a lot of cash and they do some acquisition of other companies which deal with a different product, and that product may be an input for the our primary product also. Okay, so over the period of time, the company grows into a large conglomerate in which interdivisional movements may happen, or for sure it will happen in a large conglomerate. For example, if you take Tata, so Tata will have a lot of IT services support given by TCS to Tata Motors, and Tata Motors will have lot of Tata Auto Components is one of the child part manufacturers, so they will supply parts to Tata Motors which is assembled into the car. So lot of services or manufactured items will move from within the overall Tata group, within the companies, within the group companies. So here how to price it. Okay, so for that, for every price there should be a cost behind it. So there will be a costing team, there will be a pricing team when you go to a large company in finance department. So what the costing team will do is they collect the complete P&L data, do the math as per the policy. For transfer pricing there will be a policy given in the company's policy book will surely have the transfer pricing policy. So following the guidelines provided by the transfer pricing policy, the costing team will create the cost, and pricing team will apply the transfer pricing rules policies in compliance with the company's policy, as well as in compliance with the prevailing laws. Okay, what our income tax says, it should be arm's length, so they apply all those things also in compliance with the indirect taxes, because the transfer price should not evade any duties and taxes, so it is touching the indirect tax portion also. uh, looking that case, the pricing department will do the pricing, and once the price is ready, we can go for quoting, and your intercompany party or the related party will give you the purchase order for that amount, and you can proceed sending the parts to them. Okay, so here one thing what we have to keep in mind during the transfer prices, overall profitability for the company is important. Maybe at some point of time a particular division may lose a profit, another division may gain a profit, but overall the gain is more than what we have lost, then it is good for the company. So the transfer pricing is such a, so any company before going to purchase from the open market, they will look for whether we are doing, whether any of our own group company is doing this product. So let's do a negotiation with that, and let's see if that is the best possible. We can utilize the capacity, utilize the manpower which is already for which we are paying, okay, to make this product out. So this is the overall framework or the border what I have given you. I have not explained you completely what is the transfer pricing, but these are all the basic fundamental thing which we have to keep in our mind before reading any problem on transfer pricing. Okay, so this has a vast scope in your career if you go inside the manufacturing industry. Okay, so let me go into the problem. So illustration number 11, the following information relates to budgeted operations of division P of the manufacturing company. So one of the division of this manufacturing company, sales is 50,000 units at 8 rupees per unit, comes to 4 lakh rupees. variable cost is 6 rupees per unit, and for 50,000 units, so 6 rupees multiplied by 50,000 comes to 3 lakh rupees. So the contribution will be 4 lakh minus 3 lakh, which is 1 lakh, and fixed cost is reduced, which is 75,000, and total profit from that divisional profit is 25,000 rupees. So this is nothing but the marginal cost statement, is the marginal cost statement, or you can also say P&L as per marginal costing. Okay, so the word contribution comes only in the marginal cost philosophy. So it's a P&L where the net profit is from the division is divisional profit is 25,000. Okay, the amount of divisional investment is 1.5 lakhs, and minimum desired rate of return on the investment is the cost of capital of 20 percentage. So cost of capital is nothing but for getting a capital of 1.5 lakhs. So the company has to pay 20 percentage to the supplier of the capital money. So who are the suppliers of the capital money? Maybe the shares may be listed for this company, and it may be equity. It's not required, it should be listed. So it may be a equity route, through the purchase of the shares. The money would have come into the company, or it would have come through any debt route. The company would have got any term loans or any secured unsecured loans, or through debentures. So overall put together, equity may have a particular cost, because they have to pay the dividend for that, and that is also a cost. And they have to and other than that, debt will have a interest rate as a cost, and debenture will also have the coupon rate as a cost. So putting together, when they average out, the total cost of capital is coming to 20 percentage. So here, divisional expected ROI. So here, the question is calculate part 1 divisional expected ROI. What is your expected rate of return? Okay, rate of return on investment. So ROI is return on investment. So what is your expected ROI and divisional expected RI? So I was surprised seeing your book that they have not explained what is ROI, what is RI, but they have started the problem on this. Okay, please share your comments if you have any queries, or if you want to add something to it. I have given my best to answer this question. So here, the minimum desired rate of return, which is given from the company, they have already given minimum desired rate of return is only their cost of capital of 20 percentage. So minimum desired rate of return is 20 percentage. So minimum desired return in the absolute term, so 20 percentage on the investment of 1.5 lakhs. So 20 percentage on 1.5 lakhs is going to be the 30,000 rupees. So their aim for the year is going to be 30,000 rupees profit. So that is their aim. But what the PNL says, the PNL says they have earned 25,000 rupees, which is little lesser than their target of 30,000 rupees. So current return on investment, if you see, for the investment of 1.5 lakhs, the PNL, we are seeing that they have budgeted for around 25,000. So 25,000, 25k divided by 150k, which is 1.5 lakhs. So their rate of return is 16.67 percentage, the budgeted rate of return. So here you can see budgeted operation. So these are all budget for the upcoming year. Okay, so all this budget, the budget itself is giving you 25,000 only. So budget, it's not just the numbers. Budget should is a consolidation done by the finance department from the various departments that have given the inputs. For example, here the sales figures and sales quantity, sales selling price, and everything will be given from the marketing departments or the sales department. And variable cost will be reported from the costing department. And for the costing team, the inputs would have come from the technical team, maybe the product development team for giving all the material related cost. And for manufacturing related cost, the production department will give all the cost, and putting together they will classify it into variable and fixed, and it will be attested by the finance department as per the costing policy, and they will calculate this variable cost. So these are all budget. Okay, so when you go to transfer price, for fixing the transfer price for the next year, you will be, what data you will have? You will have the budgeted figures only. So only with the budgeted figures you will go for the making the transfer price for the next year. However, this question is not on the transfer price, but let's go ahead finding this ROI and RI. Okay, so current rate return on investment is 25,000. I have budgeted for it 25,000 for the investment of 1.5 lakhs, which is 16.67 percentage. It's my budget. However, the overall target is 30,000 return, which is from the 20 percentage is the ROI. So I want a ROI of 20 percentage, against which I am getting a ROI of 16.67 percentage only. Okay, so divisional expected ROI. So from the division, 25,000 is the expected profit or the budgeted profit. So 25,000 divided by 1.5 lakhs is only 16.67, which is lesser than the management expectation of 20 percentage. So 20 percentage is required to cover your cost of capital. However, this shows that we are not covering the cost of capital. So RI is nothing but residual income. So residual income is nothing but whether we are making more money or more profit from the target or lesser profit from the target. So divisional profit here is 25,000 rupees. So minus desired rate, desired return is 30,000 rupees. So the 25,000 minus 30,000 is minus 5,000, which shows that our residual income or RI is lesser by 5,000 rupees compared to the expected. So our expected profit is 25,000. However, our budgeted profit is only 25,000. So 30,000 minus 25,000 is going to be 5,000. We are lesser side. So that's why we are putting it in the negative sign. So request you to apply the formula accordingly. Okay, and if you have more profit, you can put it as a positive. So you can do the math accordingly. So that is nothing but the residual income. Let's move to the next problem. So this is a transfer pricing problem. This is the classic problem, and this is opportunity cost method. So what is opportunity cost? When you have a ability to earn something, but you give up that earning to do something different. So which means the earning which you have left or which you have foregone, that is the opportunity cost for you. So that cost also you have to include while taking the transfer price decision. Let me read out the question. A company has two division X and Y. Division X manufactures a component which is used by division Y. Okay, so here I have put a diagram for it. Hope that will little be useful for you. So division X sends the item to division Y. Okay, and Y produces the finished product. For the next period, output and cost have been budgeted as follows. So as I said, for doing the transfer price, you will not get a realistic cost from the P&L. What you will get is the budgeted numbers, which is consolidated by various departments and given to you as inputs from the finance side. And in the finance, similar to costing section or pricing section, there will be a budgeting section, and the budgeting guys will do the transfer price for the next year. So that will be the agreement. There will be agreement lying between the divisions for the transfer price, which is given by the budgeting team. Okay, so only when this agreement is given to made and given to the production unit, they will do the production and send the items, or else they will stop the production and say the finance department has not given the signed agreement yet. Okay, so all this shows will happen in the company. So let me read, let's go inside the questions. For the next period, output and cost budgeted as follows. So they are planning to do 50,000 units of component X from the division component at division X. So this 50,000 units will go to division Y, and division Y will make the finished goods 50,000 finished goods. So variable cost is also given, 2.5 lakhs variable cost for division X, and 6 lakhs is the variable cost for the division Y. This is for the 50,000 units, and fixed cost is also given, 1.5 lakh for division X and 2 lakh for division Y. The fixed costs are separable for each division. You are required to advise on the transfer price to be fixed for division X components under the following circumstances. Okay, so X is giving the item to Y. So what will be the transfer price to be charged by X by Y? Okay, and that transfer price Y has to pay to X. Though they are part of the same group company, they have to pay each other. Okay, so let me go to the first circumstance, which is division A can sell the component in the, okay, so they have wrongly said division A, it is division X. So division X can sell the component in the competitive market for rupees 10 per unit. Division Y can also purchase the component from open market at the same price. So which means X can send the item or sell the item to open market at 10 rupees. Okay, and in the open market division Y can buy the same item at 10 rupees. Okay, so which means the item is marketable and there is a market price for it and market is willing to pay 10 rupees for that. Okay, and what is the variable cost of making? 2.5 lakhs is the variable cost for making the 50,000 units. So 2.5 lakhs divided by 50,000 is going to be 5 rupees variable cost per unit for the item. So variable cost is 5 rupees for the division X. Okay, and if division X gives the item to division Y, he can charge 10 rupees for it because market is willing to pay 10 rupees for it, which means X is going to earn a contribution of 5 rupees. So in this case, company, overall company, division X plus division Y, though it is beneficial for division X, there is no benefit for division Y. But while doing the transfer pricing, we have to think company as a whole. Okay, so division Y finance executive may be oriented towards division Y itself. Okay, and he may take a wrong decision, but however when you take to approval to the management will reject it, saying that why are you going for outside purchase, go for the purchase from division X itself. Okay, and there will be a hard cut negotiation to cut the contribution of 5 to a little bit down, but currently X is willing to send a 10 rupees and division Y, there is no benefit for division Y, but division X is going to benefit of 5 rupees contribution, and overall company is also going to benefit. So the transfer price will be 5 rupees, which is variable cost, and 5 rupees as a contribution, and 10 rupees will be the transfer price. Best possible transfer price for the company is 10 rupees. You can also say you can also make an agreement, so 50% of contribution will belong to X and you can charge 2.5 for it, and remaining 2.5 will lie as a profit with division Y. However, in this case there is a straightforward approach what we have taken, 5 plus 5, because open market X is having an opportunity to sell at 10 rupees, so I will sell only at 10 rupees. Division Y, you have to buy from me so that the overall company will gain 5 rupees. Okay, this is the objective, this is the clear cut go decision, and transfer price is 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 rupees. Let's go for the next circumstance. As per the situation mentioned in A above, and further assume that division Y currently buys the component from an external supplier at a market price of 10 rupees. And there is a reciprocal agreement between the external supplier and another division Z within the same group. Under this agreement, the external supplier agrees to buy one product unit from division Z at a profit of 4 per unit to the division for every component which division B, which is nothing but division Y, which is wrongly mentioned, division Y buys from the supplier. Okay, so here there's a second diagram I have put to explain this circumstance. So division X is ready with the item, and open market also the same item is available at 10 rupees. So division X can produce at a variable cost of 5 rupees. Okay, so here we have decided to go with division X because that is good for the overall company. So we need not make the outside supplier profitable. Instead, we can make our own group company division X profitable to the same extent of the cost that is available in the market. He can sell at 10 rupees itself. So that is a decision taken. So Y is going to get the item from division X only. That is not going to change. But now there is a complicated situation in which division Y has a two option now. He can buy from X, or there is a supplier outside. He can buy the item at 10 rupees from him, and there is a reciprocal agreement with that supplier and division Z. So X, Y and Z are all part of the same group company, and what does the agreement says is division Z will sell item to this external supplier. Okay, if the supplier if division Y accept one item from the external supplier, then division Z when the supplier will accept one item from division Z, so 1:1 ratio. So for every one that is sold to division Y, every one I will purchase from division Z, and during the every purchase from division Z, the division Z will be making a profit of 4 rupees per unit. Okay, 4 rupees per unit. Now division Y, whether to purchase from division X or from this supplier who has an agreement with your group company, so he is enticing you with this. But however, we have already taken a decision to go ahead with division X purchase only. So we are going to buy from division X at 10 rupees, which is 5 plus 5, 10 rupees. Now, whether the transfer price charged is sufficient or not, if we are going to buy from division X, we cannot buy from this supplier, which means supplier will not get the items from division Z. So which means the overall company will lose 4 rupees per unit of profit, which division Z would have earned. If division Y bought the item from supplier, division Z would have earned 4 rupees per unit profit. Now we are foregoing this profit, so the transfer price we have to add 4 rupees more. Here the X is doing a great job. X is in the X is in is lucky to earn 5 plus 5 rupees of contribution to make equivalent to the open market, and 4 rupees for compensating the loss what division Z is facing. So 5 plus 5 plus 4 is equal to 14 rupees will be the transfer price. Okay, so here division X would have earned this 14 rupees, but however the contribution variable cost is 5 rupees, so 9 rupees of contribution is lying with X. But all this a part of a group company. In the group company, corporate finance team will do the consolidation work, and during the consolidation they will bifurcate all this performance to various divisions, so that the respective divisions performance will also be analyzed. Okay, so there will not be any situation where X will enjoy a lot of benefits and Y and Z is not enjoying the benefit, so which is not right. So corporate finance will do that activity. So this is what, so by purchasing the component from X, we can gain a contribution of 5 rupees. We discussed this point. Okay, so we have to forego selling opportunity for division Z. So the opportunity cost of 4 rupees we have to include in the transfer price. So the overall objective of this opportunity cost method is overall company profitability is only important for us. Okay, divisional profitability is not is also important, provided it is facilitating overall company's profitability. So moving to the next problem. So here it is one more transfer pricing method, which is cost plus method. So illustration number 13. A company fixes the interdivisional transfer prices for its product on the basis of cost plus an estimated return on investment in its division. So their policy, their transfer price policy for the next year is cost. What is the total cost? So cost plus means it is full cost or absorption cost or variable plus fixed cost per unit. Okay, which is a very orthodox method of costing. Okay, the relevant portion of the budget for division X for 15-16 is given below. So fixed assets 5 lakh. Okay, fixed assets 5 lakhs. So we should not be confused with the data that is given in the question. We should know, we have to be grounded, and we should know where we are. Okay, so we are doing a transfer pricing, and we are doing transfer pricing for the next year, and the data what we have is the forecast or the budget of the next year, which is submitted from various technical team, marketing team and the management. All this data are consolidated by the finance department, and finance department is having an input. So now fixed asset, what is this fixed asset? Okay, is it a balance sheet fixed asset? Because most of you, when you see the fixed asset, okay, is it a balance sheet? No. What is this fixed asset? This is a budget for the next year. So which means the company is planning to buy fixed assets of 5 lakhs for the next financial year. Okay, and current assets of 3 lakhs. So what is this current assets? Okay, is it a balance sheet item? Yes, it's a balance sheet item, but why it is coming here? It is a budget. So in the budget, so what does current assets do? The company has, maybe their sales volume would have gone up, or their sales volume would have gone up, because of which they have to maintain higher inventory of raw material, they have to maintain higher level of debtors, or given more credit terms to the vendors. So all this will affect your working capital. Working capital is nothing but your current assets minus current assets minus current liability, that will become your working capital. So the overall investment, if you see, you will invest something on the fixed assets, you will invest something on the working capital, everything put together is going to be your uh, investment. So total investment is nothing but the capital investment plus working capital investment. Okay, so 5 lakhs is a capital investment, that is very sure, that is clear. And your current assets from the previous year, which is maybe 14 15 to 15 16, your current assets is going to go up by 3 lakhs, and your debtors is going to go up by 2 lakhs. So which means your working capital is going to go up by 5 lakhs. Okay, so working capital increase of 5 lakh, that is budgeted, and increase of fixed cost of 5 lakhs, which means your company is planning to buy some 5 lakhs of fixed assets for the next financial year as per the budget. So total investment put together is 10 lakhs. So that's what I have given here. So investment is fixed asset purchase plus additional working capital, which is 5 lakhs plus 3 lakh plus 2 lakh, totaling to 10 lakh rupees. Okay, and what are the other details? Annual fixed cost for the division is 8 lakh rupees, the fixed cost. Variable cost per unit is given 10 rupees. Here we are not in the marginal cost, we are in the cost plus method. Okay, this is a very old orthodox method, which means the complete cost of the company will be divided by per unit for the respective period, and per unit total cost will be calculated. So the cost plus method is full costing, or we can say it as absorption costing. So the total cost is variable cost per unit plus budgeted annual fixed cost divided by budgeted volume. So budgeted fixed cost is given as 8 lakh for the year as per the budget. So 8 lakh divided by, and budgeted volume for the year is 4 lakh. So 8 lakh divided by 4 lakh is nothing but the 2 rupees is added to the variable cost 10 rupees that is already given. So 12 rupees is the total cost per unit is 12 rupees. Desired, sorry, desired rate of return is 28% rate of return. So desired ROI is 28%. So ROI is return on investment. So what is investment? As we already discussed, 10 lakh is the investment. So 28% of 10 lakhs is 2.8 lakhs is the budgeted return. So we have to calculate, we have to fix the transfer price. So the transfer price is nothing but the total cost plus desired return. So the desired return is 2.8 lakhs on a whole year basis, annual basis. So on annual year, you are going to you have budgeted for a volume of 4 lakh. So 2.8 lakh divided by 4 lakh, 0.7 rupees is the return the company expects for a particular product or per unit. So the transfer price per unit is total cost per unit, which we have already found, which is 12 rupees plus desired return of 0.7. So 12 plus 0.7, 12.7 rupees is the transfer price that we have fixed for this item as per the policy or guidelines that is given in the question. Okay. Okay guys, so I will meet you with further problems, transfer pricing problem and other problems shortly. Okay, so all the very best guys. Thank you.